of the transatlantic slave trade, and the Hispanics and natives of North, Central and South America, according to the Bible and other historical books, they are the true biblical Israelites, man. You understand? And it's funny how in Christianity, every other nation remembers their culture and people, even though they're Christian. It's funny how in Islam, every other nation is able to hold their culture and hold their traditions and language and ways. But isn't it also funny that those blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, whenever we join these religions, we are told to forget about our people, man. We are told to forget about the crimes that have been committed onto the remnant of our people, man. But let me tell you something, man. The Most High Power, the God of this Bible, He has not forgotten, man. And He prophesied that these nations will come up against us. He prophesied that these religions would force us to forget ourselves, man. But black man, you need to wake up, man. You need to recognize and adhere to the knowledge of the school, man. You need to recognize and understand that you are not in your place of rest, man. Every other nation round about you benefits greatly off of your demise and suffering, man. And yet and still, we want to love them. Yet and still, we have to forgive them. But whenever they suffer, whenever they die, they get justice, man. They get the retribution that they have so earned during their suffering. But I'm going to tell you something, man. The truth of this Bible is that the blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, the Lord's chosen people, in the day of the Lord, they shall find justice, man. They shall find ease. And they shall find, and you, the sons and daughters of their oppressors, shall find the great judgment of the Most High Power, man. These religions have for far too long bamboozled the minds of blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans. But I am here to tell you, the UPK is here to tell you that this kingdom and the oppression and the suffering that we have endured, it will not last, man. It will come to an end. The day will come when you will mourn, and we shall sing songs and dance and be happy. Give me 2nd Ezra. Hey, Rahman, where's your fucking book for you? You understand? We will be the ones who shall greatly reward this land, man. We reward these lands with the judgment that they are so old. The Christian church is far too long bamboozled blacks and Hispanics, man. Made us weak and simple. But this knowledge that you hear this day will be the law of the land, man. Will come to pass. Where's the book from, man? This is the old Bible. Alright? So know this. The judgment of the Lord will come to pass, man. And all the foolishness of this kingdom, all the lies and nonsense of this kingdom will come to an end, man. 2nd Ezra 6:54. Right? We gotta remember that, man. We gotta remember that this book is not no fairy tale book. There's nowhere in the Bible where it tells you to bang a tambourine and dance like a damn fool. Read that.
2nd Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam also whom thou madest the Lord of all thy creatures, of him came we all.
So in the Bible, you understand, every nation came from the time of Adam. Every nation was created in that time, in that day. Go ahead.
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And also the people of God who the Lord chose, man. Everyone came about at that time. Go ahead.
And this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
Because the Most High made the world the planet Earth, every land, every sea. You understand? He made it for the sake of the children of Israel, man.
That's right.
That is why there are impostors in our land. That is why there is a people calling themselves Jews that are not, man. That is why this kingdom will burn, because the rightful rulers of the earth are not ruling it, man. Everything is upside down with God, and God will show forth who he chose to rule the earth, man. Go ahead.
As for the other people, which also came from Adam.
So as for the other people who were also created in the Genesis, who were also created in the beginning, what does the Lord say of these people? Go ahead.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They are what?
They are nothing.
The Lord said that all these nations round about blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, the Lord said that they are nothing, man. That's what the Most High said. He said they are nothing. But what?
But like unto spittle.
Like unto what?
Spittle.
That is what the Most High of this Bible thinks of the other nations, man. Thinks of the nations that have oppressed his people. Thinks of the nations that had his children on slave ships, man. Thinks of these nations who stole our heritage. The Lord said that they are like unto what? Spittle. The Lord said that they are like unto spit to him. So where the hell does your Christian church come from, black man? Where the hell does this Muslim mosque come from, black man? Read on.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that has fallen from a vessel.
And the Lord has likened the abundance of these nations to be like as if you have a bucket full of water. The Lord said these nations are like a drop that comes from that water, man.
That's right.
Meaning he don't give a damn about these other nations, man. Go ahead.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathens.
What?
These heathens, which have ever been reproved as nothing.
These nations, these heathens, who have always been reputed as nothing. Go ahead.
Have begun to be, O Lord, have begun to be lords over us.
These nations who the Lord calls nothing, these nations who have oppressed the Lord's chosen people, they have become to be lords over us, man. Whenever you see a black man, meaning a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, nations rule over his people, man. Whenever you see a so-called Hispanic, Taino, or Native Indian, another nation of people rules over them, man. The Lord said that now these heathens who have ever been reputed as nothing rule over the children of Israel, man. Now tell me something, man. Where the hell is the Jewish man at? I'll tell you where he's at. He's at the top of the pile, man. He's at the top of the list of the nations who rule over the children of Israel. They are not God's chosen people. They are thieves and liars, and they shall be rewarded for their crimes, man. Give me Psalm 55 and 21, Brother Kashar. Let us understand, the Lord in the Bible does not change, man. God in the Bible has never changed. But I'll tell you, black man, I'll tell you what should change and what will change. The lifestyle that you have ever lived, man. The lifestyle of the blacks in the transatlantic slave trade. The lifestyle of the natives of North, Central, and South America. That will change. And the Lord will ensure it in the earth. 55 and 21.
Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
So we're going to understand how these nations became rulers over the children of Israel. We're going to understand what took place for this to happen. Go ahead.
But what was it? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
You understand that the words of our oppressors' mouths were smoother than butter, man. They said, come on, man, love Jesus and bang that tambourine. Meanwhile, you're going to go on them slave ships. Meanwhile, we're going to rape your women and kill your sons and daughters. That's what they taught us. That's what they said. You understand? That is what their smooth words did, man. It deceived us to follow their religions and to be subservient to them. Read it one more time.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
What do you think happened, you understand, in the prison system with this Islam? And what has it happened to our brothers, man? It has been spread, and they give you this Assalamu alaikum, and then what do? The drugs fill up in your community, man, and they tell your brothers to sell those drugs to their brothers. You understand? Because why? They're not Muslims, so it's okay. You can sell drugs to them. That is the smooth words of our oppressor, man. The smooth words of our oppressor is, come back to Ghana. Come back to Nigeria. We'll give you land. But listen to this, black man. Those smooth words have our brothers living over there suffering, man. Yeah, it looks good. It sounds good. Meanwhile, when they go over there thinking they're going to see their brothers so-called, falsely so-called, they get entrapped. They find entrapment, man. These are the smooth words of the heathen black man. These are the smooth words of our enemies. Go ahead.
But war was in his heart.
They gave us smooth words of these religions and their philosophies, but we find ourselves at the bottom of society. War was in his heart, black man, and it was foretold in the Bible. That is how these nations rule over you today. That is how you are in a failing condition, because you hearken unto their lies. You fell for the trick. You fell for the trick of their lies, man. You understand? You fell for the trick of their lies and deception, and they showed you wrong, man. Any more on that?
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
His words were softer than oil. Meanwhile, behind his back, he had swords, man. He had the drugs in your community. He had black on black crime. He had police brutality. He had your Islam and Christianity to dumb us down and make us weak. That is the destruction, and that is the deception of these nations, man. They have never loved you, and the Lord foretold it. But we wanted to be simple. We wanted to love them. And when we love our enemies, they show us that they have always been our enemies, man. We should remember ourselves, man, and not forget. We should remember the crimes of our enemies. We should remember that they sit upon riches. Meanwhile, we suffer and die, man. Any more on that? Yeah? We should never forget the crimes of our enemies, man. We should never forget how we got here in this condition today. We should never forget that. Because why? We are the Lord's chosen people, man. We should remember our heritage and not follow the lies of our oppressor. We should remember our suffering and not follow the lies of our enemies, man. You understand? What'd you say? What'd you say? You said something? You're from Congo? Okay, good for you. But anyway, we should remember the crimes of our enemies, man. You understand? Alright?
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy.
The Bible says blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should never trust their enemies, man. We should never trust the Congolese. We should never trust the Nigerian. We should never trust the Pakistani. We should never trust the Arab, the East Indian, the white man. We should never trust our enemies. Because why? Today, the UK is great and powerful because we trusted them. And today, these nations round about us are great and powerful because we trusted them. What's your question? Yeah? Come round the front if you got time. Come round the front. You understand? We suffer today because we trusted our enemies. And the Bible says what?
Never trust thy enemy.
That's what the Bible says, man. What you have a question? Okay, and what's wrong with that? According to the Bible, this Bible is a so-called black and Hispanic supremacist book. This Bible, right, the God of this Bible is a racist. The God of this Bible shows in the Bible that he chose a nation of people above everyone else. That's not my problem. I'm responding to what you said. The Bible said that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are above all people. Get that. Right? We're going to show you. But according to the Bible, that so-called black supremacy you're talking about has only ever been taught in this Bible. But the lies of the white man has given us Christianity, whitewashing, and causing the people of the book to be subservient to them. That is what we have found and learned in this kingdom. You understand? So, do you have any other questions or was that? Alright, appreciate it. Read that.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thy art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The Lord said that the children of Israel are holy, meaning separate unto him. Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Unto himself. The Lord chose a people on the earth, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today. He chose a nation of people to call his own. Go ahead.
Above all people down upon the face.
Read it one more time. Wait, hold on. I don't think they heard you. Read that again.
Above all people down upon the face of the earth.
The Most High power, Yahweh, the God of this Bible, said the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are to be above all nations of the earth. And like we've just gone through, we just read how the children of Israel became at the bottom. I'll go back to where you was in the TITHES question. You understand? The Bible has been mistaught and misunderstood in the earth. And a deceiver has had our records in his hands for far too long, man. You understand? We here in the I.S.U.P.K know the Bible. We know the truth of the Most High. And we know that judgment shall come, man. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy.
We, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, should never trust our enemies. We should never trust the people that benefited from our suffering. We should never trust the people who benefit from our suffering today. Because why? Every other nation of people, they don't forget their own, man. And rightfully so. But we should remember ourselves, man. We should remember that the Lord chose us. And we should remember what the Lord said, man. To never trust our enemies. Go ahead.
For like as iron rust him, so is his wickedness.
Just like how you know for a fact that iron shall rust, is the same way that your enemies, black man, will always show themselves to be your enemies, man. You've been here for hundreds of years, and anything we've been telling you since 1969 has always come to pass, man. You want to be bamboozled and live in the clouds and think everything's A-okay, but the reality is your people are suffering and dying, man. And if you do nothing about it, you are weak, man. You are a weak, spineless coward, just like your Christian pastor, man. You are a weak, spineless coward, just like every black and Hispanic politician, man. You should not conform yourself to a land that has only given you and your foreparents suffering and oppression, man. let me tell you something. This is how bad it is. The so-called Jewish man gets offended and applies laws against people, right? And manages to steal and take away money from celebrities who merely acknowledge that he is at a powerful state in this kingdom. Merely acknowledges the fact that his people are wealthy and rich, right? But know this, black man. The other day, what movie came out more recently? What movie came out recently? It's called The Woman King. And in that movie, it depicts the Dahomey tribe as heroes for the slave trade. But let me tell you something. If you know anything about your history, black man, the Dahomey tribe is one of the many tribes who benefited from our suffering. They were one of the many so-called African tribes who benefited from our suffering, man. So much so that they fought the British to continue selling slaves. But yet they make a movie to dishonor you and to dishonor your foreparents. But what happens to them, black man? What happens to these people in Hollywood that made this movie and that funded this movie? I'll tell you, black man, they make money and they are rich. That's what happens. One of the many tribes, just like the Ashanti, just like the Igbo, just like, tell me something, the Dahomey, right? And the Mandingo tribe, and any others? The Igbo said that, man. Listen, the Midbar tribe, all these tribes and more benefit from our suffering. The only thing right about that movie is that they showed you that slavery was not some random campaign into Africa. It was an organized selling of product, and your foreparents was that product, black man. Don't let them no damn tell you that white people just came to Africa and just took random people. That's a damn lie, man. The tribes that ruled over those lands made a deal with the white man. And then they want to call and tell you, oh, come back to Ghana, man, or come back to Nigeria. Damn that, man. As we just read, the Bible says, never trust our enemies. And know this, black man, all skin folk are not kinfolk. Our people have been subservient to every people, right? Listen, the troubles that you found in Congo came about because of your own greed, and you trusted the white man, and then he showed you who he was, right? That's not my problem. My problem is for the blacks that went to the Caribbean. My problem is the blacks in the Americas that your people sold out. Damn them! To hell with Congo! To hell with Nigeria! To hell with Ghana! To hell with Saudi Arabia! To hell with India! To hell with the UK! Because your hell shall come! Just as we have only known hell and suffering, all your people will know hell and suffering. And that is what I just said. But he couldn't comprehend. Where did he go? Show me that. Read that.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 11. One second. Verse 10. Never trust thy enemy. For like as iron rust him, so is his wickedness.
We, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans should never trust our enemies. In 2022, if you're a black man or the descendant of the transatlantic slave trade and you don't know the crimes of the people round about you, you're asleep, man, and you better read a damn book. You better come to class and find out that your people have only suffered under every nation round about them, man. Go ahead.
Though he humble himself and go crouching.
Though he humble himself and say, come back to Nigeria, come to Ghana, we're your friends, right? Though he humble himself and speak all effeminate and talk about Christianity or his Islam, though he humble himself and call you, oh, what's up, brother? Oh, what's up, brother? He's not your brother, and he's such a deceiver. Your enemies are such deceivers, black man. They will call you brother, but let you try to marry one of his daughters. Let you try to marry one of his daughters and come into his family. Then you're going to find out about brother, about Assalamu alaikum. To hell with the Muslim mosque. To hell with the Christian church, man. Have only been plagues against my people, man. How the hell you gonna come and tell me about Congo, man? To hell with Congo, man, and all the Congolese, because our king shall return. And when he returns, you think what the Germans did to you was great. You're gonna find out what Yahushua does to you, man. You're gonna find out what death and slaughter is in that day, because our king in this Bible is not no sodomite. He is not no white boy. He is a black man from the tribe of Yahuwah, Judah. You understand? Go ahead.
Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shall he unto him as thou had white a looking glass. Yet take heed and beware of him.
So yet take heed, black man. Take heed and beware of our enemies. Take heed and be aware of the crimes of the Christian church and the crimes of the Muslim mosque. Take heed and be aware of him, man. Go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as thou hast white a looking glass.
It'd be like, you know what I'm saying, you're driving or you got your glasses and you wipe them clean. Watch him with your eyes, man. Watch them, because they will show you who they are. They will show you who their loyalties are allied with. And I tell you, black man, it is not you. It is not you. They do not care about you, black man, but they creep and they crawl to make you subservient to them. You understand? That's it. Give me Proverbs 11:21. Yeah? Let us remember the crimes of our enemies, and let us not forget. And the Most High, this Bible, has not forgotten, man. He has not forgotten the people that he chose that have been succumbed to all these atrocities, man. He has not forgotten the things that they endure day by day. He has not forgotten that a nation of vagabonds have taken their heritage and their land and have called themselves by his name. He has not forgotten it, and so we shall not either, man. Got it?
Proverbs 11:21. Thou hand join in hand, the wicked shall.
Though hand join in hand, though you see you can join hand in hand with the sons and daughters of the people that have oppressed your foreparents, man. Though you want to join hand in hand in the Christian church, though you want to join hand in hand in the Muslim mosque, but read on.
The wicked shall not be unpunished.
Listen, let me tell you something for all you sellout pastors out there, man, and you no backbone, spineless blacks and Hispanics who have chosen another nation above your own. Though you join hand in hand with them, though Shaquille O'Neal is a coward and a sellout, though, what's the other one? Come on. Charles Barkley, though Steve Harvey and many others have sold out their people and they join hand in hand with their enemies. Read that again, but the wicked shall what?
The wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered.
The seed of the righteous, the blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, you shall be delivered, man. You shall be delivered from your enemies. And until you wake up and acknowledge the facts, and until you wake up and stop trying to live in the clouds and realize who your enemies are, you will only continue to find oppression and suffering, man. Let us not forget, black man. Let us not forget. Give me your Lamentations 4:18. Let us not forget the crimes of our enemies, man. Our people have endured suffering and still do, man. We are still at the bottom of society, cleaving onto nations that hate us. we should wake the hell up, man, and stop trying to fraternize with a nation of people that hates you. Listen, if you're walking down the street and you see your son trying to play with a rattlesnake, what are you going to do, black man? Are you going to just let him play with it? Or are you going to pick him up and drag him away from the snake? Because why? Sooner or later, that snake will bite him, black man. And the same way is the snakes of these other nations, the beasts of the heathen. They shall bite our sons and daughters, as they always have. Go ahead, read that.
Lamentations 4:18. They hunt our step.
They do what?
They hunt our step.
Even after all the things that we have endured, even after everything, the lies and deception and the destroyed state that we have become in, they still hunt our steps, black man. They still hunt for your sons and your daughters and push their vile philosophies upon them. They still hunt our sons and daughters and kill them unlawfully. They still hunt our sons and daughters and push their disgusting, vile religions upon our children, man. They have always hunted our steps, black man. But you gotta wake the hell up and stop trying to be everybody's friend, man. Because everyone else ain't your damn friend. They're not your friend, black man. Go ahead.
But we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near.
Our end was surely to be near. But Barakatah Yahweh Shai for Commander in General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K, because our end is not here, man. Our salvation is here. And we have to take it in our hands and take back what is ours. Alright, looks like you need to do my first. You understand? We should take back our heritage and our culture, which was stolen from us. And we should not continue to hearken unto the lies of our enemies, man. We should stop following the lies of our enemies, because they benefit while we suffer and die, man. They benefit while we suffer and burn. And they ain't doing nothing. They ain't standing with you. Slack. They're not standing with you, black man. Read that.
Jeremiah 13:13. There is none that plead thy cause.
There is none that pleads your cause, black man. There is nobody, no nation that you call your friend that comes to your aid. There is no one that comes to your aid, man. But what do? They deceive you and give you their religion to dumb you down and to keep you in the destroyed state that you've always been in, man. Go ahead.
That thou mayest be bound up. There has no healing medicine.
There's no healing medicine in the Christian church for blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, man. They don't come to your aid when you're suffering and dying. They don't come to your aid when you're dying in your communities, man. You know what they do, black man? They forget about you and reap the benefits of your suffering, man. They don't come to your aid, man. And there is no medicine in the Christian church. Banging a damn tambourine. How long we been banging a damn tambourine? For centuries. Yet and still, drugs are sold in our community. Yet and still, we kill each other and choose to love other nations other than our own brothers. There is no medicine in the Muslim mosque for blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, man. Because yet and still, they fuel the drugs in our neighborhoods, man. They fuel the suffering in our neighborhoods. There is no salvation, no medicine in these other nations and their religions, man. Go ahead.
All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
All your lovers, black man, have forgotten you. When you was fighting for rights, for human rights, you understand? In the 50s and 60s, what happened, man? Other nations came to join you. The so-called Jewish man, the Indian man, the Irish man. But where are your lovers now, black man? I'll tell you where they are. They're living good. They're benefiting. They find justice. But where are you? You're still in the corner on some side street burning weed like a damn fool. That's where you are. You need to recognize that these things, these tools have been created and pushed in our community to make us weak, man. To make us forget about all our suffering and not want for justice. We should forget about the simplistic nonsense that have plagued our community, and we should know and realize reality and know that our lovers, these nations, these religions and philosophies, they don't love you, man. They don't care about your suffering, but they do care about the Jewish man who runs everything and owns everything and stole our heritage. That's who they do care about. Any more on that?
They seek thee not.
They don't seek us. When they're looking for retribution for their people, listen, let me tell you something. The so-called Jewish man, he gets billions every year since the so-called Holocaust, right? He gets billions every year, and he should. But did the so-called Jewish man say, you know what? What about my black brothers? What about them? They suffered more than I, and they should find some billions every year. You know what we get? Bang that tambourine, bow to that dumb stone, and shut up, black man. That's what we are told, man. And if you, as a black man, cannot see the reality, you are asleep, man. You're simple, and you need to wake the hell up, man. Go ahead.
I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy.
Go ahead.
With the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sin were increased.
You understand, were treated as an enemy. We were made subjugated and made weak to the other nations because of our crimes, because we were to love them, because we were to follow their religions and their philosophies, man. But the Lord said we should turn back, man. Give me Leviticus 26 and verse 17. These things that we suffer, black man, were always foretold in the Lord's scriptures, man. And we should stop following the lies of our enemies and realize that we have dealt wrong. We have forsaken our brothers, man, and forsaken our power, our God, and we should turn back to Him, man. We should forsake the love of these nations and love our people, man. Read that.
Leviticus 26 and 17. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies.
We have been slain before our enemies, black man, because we wanted to love a nation that hates us, man, and forsake our God for their vain idols, man. We wanted to forsake the Most High and our heritage for Christianity, man. For banging a damn tambourine, yes, brother. Yeah? We forsook our religion and our ways to love a foolish and vain religion and a people that hate us, man. We forsook the Most High for some dumb stones in the middle of the desert. That's what we did, black man. And that is why we were slain before our enemies. Go ahead.
They that hate you reign over you.
They that hate us have reigned over us for centuries, man. Because we wanted to love them. And we should forsake them, man. We should be holy unto the Most High and be separate and love our own people, man. Just like all these other nations love their own people. Stop being a damn coon, man. Stop banging the tambourine and smiling and grinning teeth like a good old boy. You should remember yourself, man, and take back your integrity, man. Stop being a good slave. These nations will nod and say no because they want you to be a good slave. They want black on black crime to continue. They want drugs to be continued and infect our neighborhood, man. That's why they say no. Because they don't want you to take any justice back. They don't want a face for the crimes of their foreparents. But like it or not, sell out or not, they will suffer for their crimes, man. Any more on that?
And ye shall flee when none pursueth you.
We flee when none pursueth us, man. We forsake ourselves to love these other nations, and we find no justice, man. Stop loving up your enemies, black man, and love your brothers, love your sisters, and love your God, man. Come back to the philosophies and the doctrine and your heritage that was taken from you, man, and stop loving a people that have never loved you. Stop being a good slave and smiling to make them feel at ease, man. Stop doing that, black man. If you're walking around and you feel upset, be upset, black man. Why would you not be upset? Your people are dying every day. Your people are in disarray. Your lives are consistently berated with oppression and lies. Why the hell would we not be upset? Any other nation gets upset, everybody's like, oh, what happened? Are you okay? But when we're upset, we should get told, oh, stop being angry. Stop sulking all the time. You should be smiling and happy, right? Because why? Anger is the emotion of free men. And they don't want you, black man, to be a free man. They want you to be a good slave who smiles for massa and bows his head like a good little dog. Nah, man. Our King YAHANNA was no coward.
And listen, man, what he's saying is heavy. In this world, as a black man, you can never be angry, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? When something gets you angry, oh, he's aggressive. Well, listen, man, all over the earth, every nation has a right to be angry.
Right.
But there's one nation of people, when they're angry, it's like something's wrong.
That's wrong.
And why? Because as a slave in this empire, they stop you, black man, from being angry, man.
That's right.
That's why you're in the church. The church is made so that what? Black people don't get angry, man.
Right.
Why do you think in the church there's a tambourine, the organ? Those things are meant to pacify you, black man.
Right.
Meant to make you feel nice and happy and wave your hands in the air like you just don't care for Jesus, man. This little light of mine, but really, black people should be angry, man.
Right.
For what the British Empire has done to black people for 400 years, man.
Right.
You got every right to be angry in this empire. Why? Because another nation has abused, oppressed, and done evil to your people, and they can't even tell you sorry, man.
Right.
They can't even apologize. Forget the reparations. You can't even give a black man a sorry.
Right.
That's why, black man, you got every right to be angry.
That's right.
And don't make no one tell you nothing, man.
Right.
And leave that church, man. You know what I mean? Let me tell you something. Singing and dancing doesn't solve black issues, man.
Right.
Banging a tambourine on the hip doesn't fix knife crime, man.
Right.
And that's the problem. They've taken our anger away from what? Black anger could fix many things, man. Black masculinity could fix Handsworth tonight, man.
Right.
And listen, you better listen to this officer right here, man. The I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA. We got the answers. And listen, black man, you got every right in England to be angry, man.
That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
Give the other one a hand, man. You understand? We should remember that we have always been coerced to be good slaves, man. What do you think they're doing to Kanye West? Listen, like I always say, Kanye West is not a priest of the Lord. What he's saying is true, but that's not his job, man. But notice how whenever a black man speaks truth and they are famous, they're always butt broken, man. They're always made to be an example of in front of all the other slaves, just like Kyrie Irving. They're made to be examples of by our oppressors, man. Just like on the sugarcane fields, just like on the cotton fields. Because why? Our oppressors are the devil the Bible speaks of, man. And a devil, just like a snake, a dragon, a serpent, will always show his true colors, man. He will always show who he is. But black man, Hispanic and Native American, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue to be dumbed down and keep your mouth shut? Or are you going to stand for your people, man? Are you going to stand for your culture and your power? Look at these nations, man. They stand for their own. They care about their own. So we should as well, man. We should stop thinking about the suffering of others, because nobody has suffered as we have, man. Nobody has endured what we have endured, and we still endure today. Let's stop being asleep, man. Let us wake up and take back our heritage, man. Read on.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Because sentence against an evil work, a crime in the earth, has not been executed speedily. Because the crimes that were done by the Africans, because of the crime that was done by the Arabs, you understand? Because of the crimes that was done by the so-called white man in the transatlantic slave trade, because they have not answered for their crimes, because judgment has not been executed speedily. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily.
Go ahead.
Therefore the heart of the Son of Man is fully set in them to do evil.
Therefore, because they have not suffered for their crimes, because they have not answered for their crimes, because the UK's wealth continues to build off of the suffering of our people, man, because they have not answered for their crimes, they're set in their way, man. Because other nations can come into your community and make businesses and make money and fuel drugs in there and benefit from your suffering and demise, because they have not been found guilty. They have not rendered any judgment that has not been sentenced upon them, because they have gotten away with it. They're set in their ways, black man. They are set in their ways because they've stolen your heritage and called themselves Jews, and nobody has put them and made executed judgment upon them. They are set in their ways to keep you asleep, man. They're set in their ways to steal your heritage and to continue to oppress you and benefit from your suffering, because no one has made them to answer for their crimes. They are set in their ways, man. But go ahead, read on.
Though a sinner do evil 100 times, and this day is prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them.
So they think in their minds, oh, we're good, man. We oppress these people. We still make billions of them today, and they still suffer and die. But we're good, man. You understand? We're all good. That's what these nations think about you, black man. But we don't.
That fear God, which fear before him. Verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked.
But it shall not be well with the wicked, man. The suffering that they have put our people through, man. The crimes that they have committed. The Most High says it should not be well with them, man. Though the Muslim mosque fuels our community with drugs and encourages armed sons to kill their brothers, don't forget yourself, man, because the wicked shall not go unpunished, man. Though the Christian church continues to fill our sisters' heads and minds with the lies of this kingdom, man, and give you white supremacy and a simplistic mind, they will not go unpunished, man. Go ahead.
Neither shall he prolong his day, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before God. Verse 14. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be just men, unto whom it happeneth according to the work of the wicked. Again, there be wicked men, to whom it happeneth according to the work of the righteous. I said that this also is vanity.
So it's vanity for them to believe that they will get away with their crimes, man. It is vanity for them to believe that this kingdom, this that was built off of the suffering of the Lord's people and their religions that gain and benefit from our suffering, they will not go unpunished, man. Their crimes will not continue to go unanswered forever. Give me Psalms 149 in verse 5, Brother Kishore. Their crimes will be answered, man. Their crimes and their judgment shall come upon them. You think this kingdom will last? You think this place won't burn? But judgment shall come, man. You believe that this will last forever. You believe that this place can stand and you can live good off of our suffering and think everything's A-OK. Nah, man. The true power of this Bible, you understand, is a just power, man. And he will ensure that you answer for the crimes of your foreparents, man. Read that.
Psalms 149. Verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing loud upon their beds.
So the Lord said, let the saints be joyful in their glory. Let them sing aloud on their beds. Why? Because though we are suffering, though we are oppressed, the saints, which are the Israelites according to the Bible, they shall have glory. They shall praise the Most High. Read on.
Let the high praise of God be in their mouth, and the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance.
Execute what?
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
The Lord said, let the saints of the Lord rejoice, even though we are oppressed, even though we have endured suffering and still suffer today, even though the nations that have benefited from our suffering roam the streets, roam the earth, thinking everything's A-OK, we should still yet rejoice and praise our power, the Most High power, Yahweh. Because why? A two-edged sword, read that bit.
And the two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen.
The Lord said that we should be in praise of the Most High. We should be with vigor and happiness to remember and to recall that the Lord is a just power, man. And as just as he is, he will give us the time of vengeance, man. Vengeance for the crimes done against the blacks in the transatlantic slave trade, man. Vengeance for the crimes committed against the natives of North, Central and South America. The Lord said we should have joy, because our vengeance shall be given into our hand, man. We shall be given vengeance in the day of the Lord. But I tell you, you ain't gonna hear that in your Christian church. You ain't gonna hear that in your mosque. They're gonna tell you to serve and shut your mouth and bang that tambourine. You understand? But the Lord said vengeance shall be ours, man. He will bestow vengeance upon his people to do unto the heathen, man. Go ahead.
And punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains.
To bind their kings with chains, man. All the rulers of our enemies, all the governments of our enemies shall be bound in chains. And they shall minister unto the children of Israel, man. Meaning they shall serve us. The greatest of them shall be our, you understand, servants, man. Go ahead.
And their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written.
To execute upon them the judgment written, man. You all in the Christian church forgot about this Bible. You sung your songs and you banged that tambourine, but you don't realize the power in this book, man. You don't realize the power in the word of the Most High, man. Because there is no other power that can stand against him. There is no government, there is no military that can stand against the Most High, man. And he will make sure that his king, that his son, our king, will lead us in our vengeance, man. Just remember that when you're walking about shopping in the Birmingham High Street, man. Just remember when your forefathers bestowed upon you wealth and riches because they enforced cruelty unto the children of Israel, man. Remember that. Go ahead.
His honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Most High. Because why? We shall have vengeance, man.
That's right.
Judgment shall be reigned on this earth. and there's nothing you can do about it. If you have known the crimes of your foreparents, if you have known of the great wealth and riches that you have gained and benefited from, that came about from the demise of the Lord's people, which are the blacks, Hispanics and Native Americans, if you are aware of that, you should pay homage, man. You should acknowledge the crimes of your foreparents and be like unto those that have acknowledged their crimes in the court of law, man. You should acknowledge that you will answer for a crime, and you should acknowledge that this place will burn, and you will answer for the crimes of your foreparents, man. Best believe that it is no fairy tale and it is no mythological book. Give me Isaiah 60 and verse 10. You understand? We should have glory in our hearts and minds, which hearts is the mind, so give glory in our minds to think upon the great judgment that shall be bestowed upon these lands, man. Read that.
Isaiah 60 verse 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up their walls, and their kings shall... Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy wall.
And the sons of the strangers, meaning the heathen nations that have benefited from our suffering and have benefited and enforced the slaughter and death of our people, shall build up our walls, man. They shall work as we have worked. They shall build as we built up their kingdom, man. Go ahead.
And their king shall minister unto thee.
And their king shall do what?
Minister unto thee.
Like I said before, the greatest of them, all the governments are our enemies. Those who think they're great and something, they'll be reminded that they are nothing, man. Read on.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy upon thee.
So understand, in the wrath of the Lord, we suffered great things, man. We went on cargo slave ships. We lost our heritage. We had our sons and daughters stripped from us, and our tongue, our language taken from us. But the Lord will have compassion and mercy unto his children, man. He has not forgotten us like your Christian pastor.
Nobody tell you cry. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you are a black man like me. And it's worth something.
My whole life was trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to Rhythm Man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good wreck. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like